Welcome to another video in this series. Today I have the amazing Julie DeLucca Collins, and she's going to talk to us today all about confidence because she is Casa de Confidence. Julie,
Jessica, I
I'm so
love that
excited.
we are
And you just
hanging
wrote a
out together.
book.
I
Yes,
wrote
I
a
love it.
book. It's like, whew, can you believe it's something that I talked about, then I put my head down and worked on it, and then all of a sudden we did the pre-launch and here we are. I have my little um prototype up there, and really it's a dream come true, and I am so
Yes.
excited to be able to share some of the concepts that have worked for me and have worked for the people who I admire and love and have worked with to be able to become more confident.
Yes, awesome. All right, so lay it on us, lady. So basically what we want to talk about today is as people move towards those big dreams, like yourself, like that dream of making a book or creating this piece of yourself that you're putting out into the world. I mean, with that,
Mhm.
we need to find new confidence to be able to do these
Yeah.
things. Right? And that's what these groups are about is moving in and stepping into these new identities and becoming the people that we want to be. So please, I know that you have lots of tips and you can share for us on.
So let me tell you some of the best things that I have found. And here's the one thing I want to give everybody hope and know that you just don't wake up in the morning and then all of a sudden you wake up confident. That doesn't happen. And the people that you see out there that are so confident and have it all together, they probably don't. And I'm speaking from experience. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to write this book, because people would always say to me as I was climbing the corporate ladder, "Oh my gosh, I wish I was so confident like you." And I'm thinking, I am confident. Yes, I am bold, or whatever you may want to say. But there's times in which I also have that inner critic, and I also feel like I don't have it together. And all of these things, we need to normalize that what you see on the outside takes a lot of different work and moving pieces on the inside to make it happen. And all you have to do is really be able to go back and start putting in place some of the things and the steps and the moving pieces that will help you become more confident. Because if you are working toward your goals, if you are learning, if you are growing, then you're becoming more motivated to continue to learn and grow. And the more that you know that you are growing and you know something and you're doing it well, then that's when confidence actually comes to be. So that's one of the first things that I want people to really know, that it's a lot of work on the inside and not everything that you see on the surface.
Right. So it's not really that fake it till you make it stuff. There's so much more that goes into it, right?
Yeah, there's so much more that goes into it. And you know what? You can wake up in the morning and say, you know what? I don't feel like looking great, but I'm going to put makeup on and I'm going to go fake it. And yeah, there's a level that can be like that. But the reality
Hmm.
is that consistency and simple habits are the things that are going to lead to you actually having that confidence. One of the things is you have to create an intention for what you want to do. Because if you're looking to become better at a job, at a business, at working out, and maybe you want to run a marathon and you want to be more confident as a runner, then you need to really be able to create that intention. It takes planning, it takes forethought to really be able to narrow in what you want to do. And really, it's not about just you decide and then it happens. It really is every day waking up and putting that intention into play, writing down what your goal is, making sure that you understand that if you want to feel healthy, right, then what does that mean? It means that when I go shopping from groceries, I'm going to purchase the things that are going to be the foods that nourish my body. If I want to grow my business and I want to gain three more clients, and that means I'm going to have to either reach out to people or create an email or whatever it might be, but really have that planning and forethought that is going to allow you to start putting some of the things in place to grow to that confidence.
Yeah, I love that. Intention is one of my favorite words.
Me too. Me too. And it's something that I keep revisiting, because even though you may get it and there might be a time that you're moving along, then we fall, right? We're human, and that's okay. Expect that you're going to fail and maybe forget to be intentional in what you're doing, because we're going to revert. That's the power of habits. Sometimes, if we have bad habits, we can't just erase them, we create new ones. So, intention is something that we have to keep working on.
Awesome. And I really love how you're talking about like write it down, know what you
Yes.
want, take those actions, right? It's about embodying that person that you
Yes.
want to be, right?
Absolutely. And I think that, for the past 3 years, and really, the book is something that's tangible, right? But I've had other goals, but for the past 3 years, that along with my other goals are things that I write every day, that I go back and I revisit. And some days it's just like, oh, I'm going to write a book. But some days it's like, I'm going to write a book. And
Mhm.
that really takes hold into your subconscious, so that you are then embodying. And really, I haven't written, I'm going to write a book, is I wrote a book, as it has happened already.
Mm.
And that has helped my brain really get trained and know that this is something who I am. Not I'm becoming, but I am a book writer. I am an author. And that compiled with my intentionality, um, it reminds me, right? This is why I'm setting the intention to sit down and write for an hour a day or 2 hours or whatever it might be.
Yeah, and the minute you put that pen to paper and you start writing, you're an author,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, for
So
sure. For sure.
that right there
Absolutely.
helps to click it in as well, right? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the thing, the writing or whatever it might be, maybe you want to grow a yoga practice, creating a habit and doing it daily. Once you know what your intention is and what you're going toward, then you start to put together the actual action, right? I have a thought, I want to do XYZ. Then the next thing is like, okay, if I want to be a runner, then that means that I'm going to have to go for a walk instead of watching Netflix for an hour. Or if I want to do yoga, I may not be able to do some of these inverted poses or really be able to balance, but that means that I'm going to practice. And it's all about the practice and the daily simple actions that we take. When we take daily simple actions, what happens is we have what we call the compounding effect. It's like saving. You're putting in your little 2 cents, and then it pays dividends. The more that you save and the more that you compound your actions into running toward your goal and going forward and creating that momentum.
Hmm. I heard, I think it's Ed Milet talk about stacking your wins,
Oh, for
right? Every
sure.
time.
I love it when he says that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes.
stacking your wins. The one thing about stacking your wins too is that on the days that you wake up in the morning and you just don't have it in you, when you look at your stacked wins, it's the thing that gets you up. It's the thing that moves you. It's the thing that allows you to keep going. When we stack our wins, we build evidence that we are doing the thing, that we are becoming the thing. And that enables us to be able to really show up for ourselves, because the bottom line is that nobody can motivate us. We can hear someone great. People can be hearing this conversation right now and be like, oh, that's so good. But I'm not going to be there. You're not going to be there when, the pen comes to paper, or when they're going to, go out and eat healthy, or they're having to do a workout, or they're trying to build their career. It's them. So you have to build that motivation within yourself, and it's not about the big wins either. It's stack the little wins. Maybe look back, and this is something that has really helped me, looking back and saying, what's my win for the day? And coming up with what went right. What are the things that we were able to do successfully? Because if we're able to come up with that evidence for our brain, maybe we didn't reach, the pinnacle where we want to be, but we moved forward. We keep that momentum. And again, the compounding effect forward.
Hmm. Absolutely. And one of the things, I'm not a big fan of looking backwards at all. I don't spend any
Mm,
time in my past, except when I'm thinking about where I've come from, right?
yes.
Allowing myself to recognize that I am moving forward. That's about the
Hmm.
only time that I really look behind me. So,
I love it. This is why we get along so well, because we're very like-minded. Um, Looking in the past, and here's the thing about the past. The past is your teacher. It's not going to, my mentor always says, the past is your teacher, not your fortune teller. Just because you failed in the past doesn't mean you're going to fail in the future. If
mhm,
anything, the past and the failures and the things that we did not do well are our teachers. They're the things that show us how can we improve, what can we do better, what can we create in a different way, and evaluate, right? Don't go back. And we live in the world that, oh, I should have done that, I could have done that. That doesn't help you. If you ask yourself, well, I didn't do it, well, how can I? That's the right question. When you ask yourself the right question, your brain is then going to start to create that reality. So don't look in the past and say, oh my God, I was a failure, or I didn't do this, or I'm this or that, or whatever. You can't control that. The only thing you have control over is setting an intention for who you want to be in the future, and then doing the things today that get you closer to being that person.
mhm. I like what you said about when you ask like those questions of yourself. You got to be
Mm,
really careful that you're asking the right question. If you
sure.
say, "Why did I fail?" versus "How can I succeed?" your brain goes searching for the answer. So if you say, "Why did I fail?" your brain starts stacking up all the reasons why you failed, and we don't want to go there. You
No.
want to be putting it in the "How can I succeed?" because then you're putting your brain
Mhm.
to work looking for all the
Right.
reasons how you can succeed. So those questions, like you say, putting them in the right
Mhm.
context, asking them correctly is huge. It could be a
Right.
change maker right there. Yeah.
I tell my clients a lot of times, Jessica, that there's certain words that we really need to evaluate, and we really need to delete from our vocabulary. And some of these words are, what should have, would have, could have, difficult, hard, no. All of these words are sort of like turning off the button that shuts down your computer. Your brain is a computer. Your brain is going. You have to program it in the right way, and putting in words that say it's too hard, then your brain's like, yep, it's too hard, can't do it. Or it's too difficult. Oh, too difficult. No, it's like, okay, it's challenging. So how can I get through that? How can I get more clients? Or is I don't know how to get clients. If you say I don't know, then your brain's like, oh, we don't know, forget it, right? So
Yeah.
it's really key that we begin to find these questions that are going to help
Yep.
us.
Absolutely. So, any other tips for all these amazing people that are like jumping on the 2021? We're going to get it done. This is our year.
Yes. So one big thing that I'm going to say is, and again, um, goals take hard work, perseverance, commitment. Find people like you who are on track. And Jessica, for instance, I know that anytime that I want something exciting, or I'm working towards something exciting, I can count on you to cheer me on in the same way that I will cheer you on. Find like-minded people. That accountability, the people that are doing the same thing, and even the people that will say to you, hey, you talked about running a half marathon by next year. How come you haven't been running? Get people to hold you accountable to your goals. You're going to be 65% more likely to reach your goals if you have people that support you, hold you accountable, share your goals, and are really create that mastermind and that community, because the social experience is something that can help you benefit. And lastly, and this is so important, be mindful, be in the moment, be in the present. Mindfulness. And I can tell you that for me, mindfulness is one of the things that I really go back to, because when you find the time, and mindfulness doesn't mean that you're going to meditate for an hour, you're going to clear your brain. That's a misnomer. We cannot empty our brains. Our brains have anywhere between 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. But
Yeah.
really take a time to sit down and say, I'm going to take a minute and I'm just going to breathe deeply and notice what your breath is like and connect to that moment. Because if you practice mindfulness, you're going to be less stressed, and that will help you take away some of those negative thoughts and some of the responses that your brain has. Your brain has a job other than being a computer. Your brain wants to keep you safe. And when you use mindfulness, if your brain is trying to keep you safe and then it's telling you, oh, let's go, no, sorry, danger, danger, this is new, we haven't done this before, it's hard, we can't do it, then these messages your brain is taking you, you'll retreat. But if you're mindfulness and you just take a moment to breathe and then you say, I'm going to relieve some of the stress. Maybe I'm going to make a cup of tea and really pay attention to myself making that tea. What does it feel like? Or even when you're drinking it, feel the taste and the texture, the flavor, and that moment of being right then and there will help to stay motivated, feel grateful, be more connected to your goal. Mindfulness is going to help you put all of the pieces together.
I love it. I was listening to something the other day. I don't know where I found it because I go down rabbit holes all the time and I come across
Yes,
amazing things. And I
as
was
we
thinking,
do.
and okay, so the Japanese water, where they speak kind words to water and then they freeze it, and the
Oh,
frozen particles look different than when you speak horrible words to other water, and the same thing happens. You haven't seen this?
you know what? Now that the more that you talk about it,
Okay.
something about like ice, snowflakes, or the different water
Yeah.
crystals and the way that they look under a
Crystals.
microscope,
Yeah.
not a microphone, a microscope. When you actually,
Yes.
yes, I think I have, but
Yes.
it's been a
Okay.
while.
So one of the things that I was thinking the other day, or I saw, is that people are now, like you said, being mindful and making yourself a cup of tea. But what this guy was doing was he was speaking kind words into his water before he drank it. So now he's actually taking those positive, whatever
Brilliant.
he's, yes, right? So another thing, like just adding to
Yes.
that level of mindfulness is while you're making that tea, speaking
Mm,
those affirmations and talking wonderfully to yourself into that water that's now absorbing that energy, which you're now taking internally into
so
your
good.
body.
And here's the
So,
thing. Affirmations reprogram your brain. There's so much garbage out there. There's so much garbage in the news and the this and the that. You know what? We have control over everything that we put into our heads, our bodies, and really curate it for yourself. If you're
mhm.
stressed, evaluate what are you allowing and how, again, ask yourself, how can I put in the right thing and the right ingredients to be able to get to the goals that I want and feel good. Because as you're doing these things and you're incorporating all these steps, you're going to come into your own. You're going to feel more confident, more put together, and you're going to be able to go out there and continue to reach your goals.
Absolutely. Okay, before I let you go, please tell
Yeah.
everybody where they can find your book.
Okay, so the book is on Amazon right now. It's on
Okay.
pre-launch. You can order it now, and
Mhm.
that is Confident You: Simple Habits to Live the Life You Have Imagined, and it will come out in the middle of March in hard copy. So
Okay.
excited! I can't
Yay!
wait.
I've pre-ordered mine.
So excited. Well, thank you. And it is, you can go to my website if you want any additional information. And some of the tips that
Okay.
we've talked about on here are actually part of my Confident 2021 plan. It's right on the website. People can download it. It's, oh, whoa, I don't even know where my website is today. Go confidentlycoaching.com. And the podcast is
Awesome.
Casa de Confidence.
Yes. Awesome. I'll put all those links in below this
Thank
video
you.
so that everybody can reach you easily. So, Julie,
Thank you
thank you
so
so much.
much.
It was
You're
great to
amazing,
see you.
Jessica. You are
Oh, thank
doing
you.
so many amazing things, changing people's lives, and just putting so much positive content into the universe. I am honored to have you as a friend and to continue to collaborate with you in everything that we're doing. So, cheers
Thank
to
you.
2021.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.